Imagine waking up in 2026, scrolling through your portfolio, and seeing one stock, just one that you bought today, up 200%, 300%, maybe even more. Imagine telling yourself, I actually caught that before everyone else did. Now, what if I told you there are 7 companies, 7 disruptive tech stocks that are quietly shaping robotics, AI, and automation right now, and the world hasn't fully priced in what's coming? If you know where to look, you can spot these plays long before the mainstream media starts screaming about them. And today, we're diving into all 7, because here is the truth. We are standing at the edge of the biggest industrial shift since the internet, and most people have no idea. By the time they wake up, it'll be too late. But not you. You're here, you're ahead. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why these companies could reshape everything from manufacturing to transportation to the way we work and live. So grab your drink, sit back, and let's get into it. So here's the deal. Every decade has its breakout. The 2000s had search. The 2010s had mobile. In the 2020s, this decade belongs to AI and robotics. You can already feel it. AI assistants, humanoid robots, self-driving systems, automation creeping into every corner of the economy. But what's happening behind the scenes is even bigger. Robotics adoption in manufacturing is growing at a record pace. AI chips are selling faster than companies can make them, and the global robotics market expected to double by 2030. Double. That S-not hype, that S-hard data, combined with corporate spending trends from thousands of companies realizing they either automate or fall behind. Now, here's where it gets interesting. When disruptive waves hit, the biggest winners aren't always the companies you hear about every day. Some are giants, yes, but others are specialists or underrated players, quietly cornering their niche. And the first company on this list is exactly that. The first stock is NVIDIA. Yeah, I know. NVIDIA's no secret. But the reason it belongs on this list isn't because it's hyped. It's because it's still early. NVIDIA isn't just selling GPUs anymore. It's becoming the backbone of AI, robotics, and autonomous systems. Think about it. Every robotics company, every AI lab, every self-driving stack, every humanoid robot somewhere in that chain is buying NVIDIA hardware or running NVIDIA software. What most people don't realize is that NVIDIA is transitioning from chipmaker to full ecosystem provider. Their robotic simulation tools, their AI operating frameworks, their digital twin systems, all of these are becoming standardized across industries. And when a company becomes a standard, that's when the real exponential growth begins. What excites me? isn't just the sales day, rebuilding the foundation for an entire future economy. And that's why long-term investors still watch NVIDIA like a hawk. But let's shift gears, because the second stock is one most retail investors overlook until it's too late. ASML. If NVIDIA is the brain of AI, ASML is the heart of chip manufacturing. These guys manufacture the machines, the literal machines that print the world's most advanced chips. No ASML. Number 3 nanometer chips. No ASML. No robotics revolution. No ASML. No AI scaling. And here's the crazy part. They have basically zero competition in extreme ultraviolet lithography. Zero. We're talking about machines that cost hundreds of millions each and take a year to assemble. ASML is selling shovels in a gold rush where everyone else is digging for gold, and they're doing it with a monopoly-level grip. For a robotics-dominated future, ASML is like oxygen and scene, but absolutely essential. Now here's where it gets exciting. Stock number 3 takes us straight into robotics. Tesla. And no, it's not because of the cars. It's because of Optimus. Most people laughed when Tesla introduced a guy in a robot suit. But fast forward, and they now have working humanoid robots trained with the same AI that powers self. And here is something the market hasn't priced in yet. The moment Tesla deploys humanoid robots inside its own factories, they instantly become the first real-world proving ground for mass-scale robotic labor. Imagine millions of units doing tasks humans don't want to do, and Tesla selling these robots like they sell cars. If they pull that off, Tesla stops being a car company entirely. It becomes a robotics, an energy giant that just happens to build cars. That optionality? The what if that's where long-term upside hides. The fourth stock is one that robotics experts talk about all the time. ABB. These guys don't chase headlines. They build robots that run the world. If you've ever seen a factory with those giant robotic arms, welding, packing, assembling, there's a good chance they were built by ABV. And here's what's wild. ABV isn't just making physical robots. They're building the software, the AI control systems, and the automation workflows that keep entire industries running. As more companies replace repetitive labor with robots, AB is positioned like a quiet giant. Every single year, more factories modernize. Every single year, AB expands its installed base. And every single year, automation becomes less optional and more necessary. If you want robotics exposure without betting on hype, ABB is the definition of a long-term disruptor hiding in plain sight. Now, stock number 5 takes us deeper into the infrastructure powering AI and robotics. AMD. For years, AMD played second fiddle in the chip race. Not anymore. Their new AI accelerators, data center chips, and embedded processors are being adopted across robotics, drones, autonomous vehicles, basically anything that needs high-performance computing at the edge. What I love about AMD is that they've proven they can catch up to giants through innovation alone. And with AI and robotics moving toward decentralized, on-device processing, AMD is perfectly positioned for the next wave. They're not trying to be NVIDIA, they're recarving out the parts. NVIDIA can reach fast enough. And in the semiconductor industry, that lane is worth hundreds of billions over the next decade. Now here's where everything starts to connect. Stock number 6 is Amazon. Not because of e-commerce, but because Amazon might be the most automated company on the planet. Their warehouses are practically robotic ecosystems, thousands of machines moving, sorting, lifting, coordinating. Amazon's robotics division has quietly built some of the most advanced logistics robots in the world. And the company's goal? A fully automated fulfillment network. Combine that with their leadership in AI through EBOS, and Amazon becomes a hybrid. Part cloud empire, part robotics empire. And the moment they start licensing or deploying these technologies externally, that opens an entirely new revenue stream the market still hasn't accounted for. And finally, stock number 7. And this one is the wild. It's not a mega cap. It's not the most famous, but it might be one of the most important. Intuitive Surgical. These guys build the Da Vinci robotic surgical system, the robot-assisted platform used in operating rooms around the world. Think about how big this industry could become. As populations age globally, demand for surgeries will explode. And robotic-assisted surgery isn't a luxury, it's becoming the standard. Surgeons prefer it. Patients recover faster. Hospitals love it because it improves outcomes. And little by little, Intuitive Surgical is embedding itself into the backbone of healthcare systems. Once a hospital adopts their system, switching to a competitor is about as likely as replacing every computer in a company overnight. It's sticky, it's scalable, it's disruptive, and it's still early in global penetration. Now, looking at these 7 companies, together NVIDIA, ISAMIL, Tesla, Abameth, Amazon, Intuitive Surgical, start to see a pattern. They're not just riding the AI and robotics wave. They're rebuilding Italiano. The chips, the factories, the robots, the automation systems, the cloud, AI, the surgical tools, they all connect. This is an ecosystem. And ecosystems don't grow linearly. They grow exponentially. That's what makes this moment so powerful. If you zoom out, you'll notice something that almost feels eerie. In every major technological revolution, a handful of companies end up shaping the next 20 or 30 years. Think of the internet giants today. Think of mobile giants. Think of cloud giants. The seeds of future leaders are always planted years before the public even realizes what's happening. That is what makes investing in disruptive tech both exciting and emotional, because you're really not just buying stocks. You're buying the future. Now, here's where things get interesting. Most investors focus on what's happening right now. But the real opportunities, those rare, life-changing ones, live in what's happening next. The momentum behind AI, robotics, and automation has reached a point where the question is no longer will this happen? It's how fast and who wins. Every one of these companies has an unfair advantage, whether it's monopoly-level hardware, massive data ecosystems, or real-world robotics deployment that no one else can replicate. And as an investor, being early is everything. Imagine being early on Apple when they were just a computer company, or Amazon when they were just a bookstore, or Tesla when they were just a niche, heavy startup. The world always resists big shifts until suddenly they seem inevitable. So here's the emotional truth. You rewatching this video because a part of you knows something big is coming. You can feel it. You're not here for quick hype or flashy predictions. You here because you want to be on the right side of history when entire industries flip. And that's why I wanted to bring you this list, not as financial advice, but as a perspective, a way of seeing what the world might look like a few years from now. And honestly, it's going to be wild. Before we wrap up, let me leave you with this. We are the first generation to witness the rise of machines that learn, adapt, interact, and eventually collaborate with us. We're investing not just in technology, but in the next chapter of humanity's story. And the people who understand this shift, who position themselves early, are going to look back at this moment and realize this was the turning point. So stay curious, stay informed, and stay early. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want more videos like this, more disruptive tech breakdowns, more stock insights, more future-focused analysis, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button so the algorithm knows this is worth sharing. Subscribe if you haven't already, because I promise you, we're just getting started. And drop a comment below telling me which of the 7 companies you believe has the most upside before 2026. I read every comment, and I love hearing your takes. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.